Hello and welcome to the Football Association of Ireland's National C Licence Conversion course. I'm going to speak about the coaching practice theory based upon the coaching practice that happens on the National C Licence course and how it's an insight into a progression from the youth certificate into the National C Licence and then how it relates to the UEFA B course. So, coaching practice, why? So the term coaching practice is always relevant to the game. It is either proactive or reactive. A proactive coaching practice would be a coaching practice is based upon a game that is upcoming. Reactive session would be a coaching practice based upon a game that has already been played. From this we develop a topic or theme for the session. Include a warm-up. We're going to speak about a coaching practice that has no goalkeepers, a coaching practice that has one goalkeeper, and a coaching practice that includes two goalkeepers, or otherwise known as a game. And of course, finally finishing off with a cool down and a debrief in order to facilitate self-reflection in terms of the coach, but also in terms of what the players have learned. So we're going to speak about the planning and organisation of a training session, the explanation of a training session, and the three phases at which we portray information to players from a coach education point of view. And finally, a self-reflection, planning and organisation. As coaches, we need to identify a team and the objective of the session. Always remember to work back from the 11v11 game. Establish formations of both teams that are realistic to the game that you're going to play at the weekend. What's your style of play? What way did the opposition like to play? Have key players in key positions. Use the key area of the pitch. For example, if you want to develop building up centrally, use the central area of the pitch. So players are picking up positions realistic to the positions that they're going to pick up within the game. From the start of the session to the end of the session, have you incorporated progressions? For example, including transition to defend in an attacking session. Explaining your session. So, what's the problem? Identify to the players what the problem is. In your own mind, have outcomes and create scenarios in order to achieve the objective of the session. As an added tool, perhaps the use of visual aids may be beneficial. What types of visual aids can we use? We've spoken about performance analysis and the use of video. Can you use a tactics board in order to depict a clear picture of what you're trying to get across to your player? Managing the session. What coaching style are you going to use? Are you going to use stop, stand still? Will you coach in the flow? Perhaps there's an opportunity to coach 1v1, or can you use the natural stoppages within the game? Take into consideration also the organisation of your session. So that first phase, the orientation phase, this is the controlling period of the training session. Influence the opponent. Set the opponent up to play realistic, the exact same way that they're going to play at the weekend. If they press high and they look to force you one way, can we set this scenario within the game continually so that our players are faced with the same scenarios and have to make decisions based upon the way the opposition play, however, within a training session, so that when it comes to the game, they're able to make the correct decision and perform to the best of their ability. Identify the systems and strategies of both teams. Maintaining the organisation, making sure both teams are playing realistically to the game. Controlling the tempo of the session. Make sure there's repetition. We need to include the problem over and over and over. The second phase, the learning phase. This is the key coaching period. Who are you going to coach first? What are the key objectives you want to get across? Are you getting your objective across within a logical sequence? How do we do this? We do this through the use of observation and through the use of the key factors. How are you delivering your coaching points? Clear and precise. A strong voice projection. Are the players now executing what you've asked? Have you affected the team? Have you affected the units? And have you affected the key individuals in relation to the key football function that you're working on? The third phase, The implementation phase. This is an opportunity for players to play uninterrupted. As coaches, observe and allow the players show that they have a clear and precise understanding of what you've already asked. Maintain the shape of both teams, ensure the scenarios are still being created. Observe the key objectives of the training session. What coaching methods can you use here? If the aim is to allow for uninterrupted play, perhaps the use of coaching in the flow or a one-on-one coaching point is the key. Finally, review the session. Do so through the use of leading questions and guided discovery in order for the players to tell you exactly what you've worked on. As a coach, don't give the answers. Allow the players come up with the answers themselves. Finally, self-reflection. It's really important to reflect on each training session. Identify what the key objective of the training session in relation to the principles of play and were they practiced properly? What football actions were specifically associated with the topic on the day? What choices had players to make? What was the outcome of the training session? And finally, did the players have a better understanding of their role and did they perform in a better way at the end of the training session? This is an excellent tool in order to identify how the session has gone, but also how you have performed as a coach. So, principles of attacking play. What are they? Spend a couple of minutes, write down what the principles of attacking play are for you. Firstly, it's essential. We have to create width and depth to allow space for build-up. Good quality and selection of passes to create overloads through the thirds. For example, ball beginning with a goalkeeper. Good starting positions from your back four, midfield three and front three in order to develop width and depth within the game. Good quality selection and pass from the goalkeeper to the centre back. Ball now gets played into the number 6, who switches the play through to the opposing centre back, who steps in and creates an overload in a 4-3-3 versus 4-3-3 with now a 4v3 in the middle. Create space and options in front of the ball. You do so through good supporting angles and passes. Midfielders make opposite movements away from the ball to create space and receive the ball on the shoulder of the opposing defender. Look for penetrating runs with and without the ball. For example, if a midfielder runs forward, does it take his marker back with him? Can that create space for the player on the ball? Provide quick support and no gaps between the units. Identify, is there an opportunity to pass early? Is there an opportunity to cross early in behind the opposition's defence from wide areas? Maintain players at the back to provide cover and balance in case possession is lost. This is essential. This is that moment, transition to defend. What are you trying to do? Can we get early pressure on the ball? Can we have our players make recovery runs? Can we re-establish our shape? Can we identify a new line of engagement? And then can we go and try and win the ball back? Look to have 4 or 5 players in and around the box in order to score goals. Here's a video of the key principles of attacking play shown. Can you identify the key action within the principles throughout the video? This can also be used as a tool to depict clear and precise opportunities to players so that they can associate a key football action to an actual visual, and which may help them perform the action better on the pitch. Attacking in central areas, build up from the back, a coaching practice with no goalkeeper, a coaching practice with one goalkeeper, into a coaching practice with two goalkeepers, or otherwise known as a game. This is the tutor demonstration that will be shown within this course. Here's a training session. Here's the coaching practice session plan. It's a 6v6 game with 2 target players. The organisation, both teams play a 2-3-1 plus 2 target players. Starting point, yellow team, centre backs pass to other centre back. Look to maintain good possession through good quality passes to build through the thirds and play the target player. Target player in yellow will give the ball to the red team to counter-attack. Red score by passing the ball through the target on the edge of the penalty area. Key focus points: angles and passing, moving and receiving, penetrating runs with and without the ball, create width and depth to allow space for build-up, good quality selection of passes to create overloads through the thirds, create space and options in front of the ball through good supporting angles, look for penetrating runs, provide quick support, and of course always be aware and have cover and balance in case possession is lost. We'll progress that through to a coaching practice with one goalkeeper. We now play from the full-size goal, playing the width of the box and 2/3 of the pitch. Yellow team, can we use the key focus points and principles of attack in order to play into the red target player? Once the ball is played to the red target player, they may play into the red team, and then we create the scenario of transition to defend. Here depicts a full game, building up centrally, using a specific area of the pitch, having key players playing in key positions, again focusing on the key principles of attacking play in order to score a goal. Is this realistic to the 11v11 game? Are players continually faced with communicating and executing through the use of good decision making? Can you use this as a tool in order to develop your team's style of play? But not only your team's style of play, your understanding of the key functions within the game and the key football actions that make each function. Thanks for listening. I hope you found it enjoyable. If ever you have any questions, please do not hesitate in contacting us, and I'd like to wish you continued success and the best of luck in your continued coach education.